NBA offseason rumors are getting insane. Look, Zach LaVine being the best free agent out there is not exciting, but reports say huge trades will go down. Right now, the teams with cap space are the Thunder, Magic, Pistons, Spurs, Pacers, and Blazers. Notice anything? They all suck. For good teams to get better, they need to trade. So let's go through like the latest and juiciest rumors, and with each one, I'm gonna put it on a scale. Not likely to happen to very likely to happen. Number 10, an OG ANUNOBY trade. Just a 2 out of 10 on the scale. Not very likely. But remember, if you're on this list, it means something, okay? Reports say that Toronto is listening to offers. OG is unhappy in his role, aka he wants a bigger role. Toronto's number 1 is Fred VanVleet, then Pascal Siakam, who could also be like a 1B. Their number 3 is Scotty Barnes. Number 4 is OG. The secret to getting generational wealth in the NBA is being at least a number 2 player. You know, Klay Thompson, Jaylen Brown, Jamal Murray. That is OG's beef with this team. The front offices exploring a trade are the Blazers and the Jazz. They desperately need a two-way wing, but the Raptors would have to be blown away in a trade. If the Jazz don't offer Rudy Gobert, this will not happen. Number 9, a D'Angelo Russell trade, also a 2 out of 10. I made an entire video about this already, but basically, he is not a playoff player, and that is the next step for Minnesota. They can't afford to have D'Lo. So they are listening, according to reports, to offers, but they're not desperate. D'Lo is on an expiring contract, which means just after this next year, he comes off the books and they can use that cap space to improve their team. What I think it would take to get him in a trade is a front court player next to Karl Anthony Towns. Reports said that the Wolves were really aggressive trying to get Ben Simmons. So if the Pistons offer Jeremy Grant, this will happen. But again, Minnesota is not going to force it. Number 8, a Bradley Beal free agent signing. Also a 2 out of 10. I promise this is going to get interesting in a bit. If Beal signs the 5-year max with DC, he can get $67 million more than if he signed anywhere else. And he told Draymond Green on his podcast, I want to win, but the number 1 priority is making the most money possible. So yeah, he's going to re-sign. But what if Washington offers less than the max? They just went through contract hell with John Wall. Do they really want to do that again? Before his wrist surgery, Beal had a horrible year with bad efficiency and bad defense. But I do expect them to reward his loyalty. Number 7, a Jalen Brunson free agent signing, a 3 out of 10. The Mavericks can offer more money, no state tax, team success, and he played 35 minutes a night in the postseason. The only thing the Knicks could offer is the full-time point guard role. Who cares? Jalen Brunson doesn't strike me as like a me guy who just needs to be the man. He doesn't care about being a starter that bad. Look, I know they just hired his dad as assistant coach. This isn't college. This could be the one huge contract Jalen gets in his entire life. Leaving millions on the table to go to New York makes no sense. I would bet anything that Brunson re-signs in Dallas. Number 6, a Zach LaVine free agent signing. A 4 out of 10. We're starting to get warm, people. Mark Stein reported, teams around the league think LaVine is in play. Well, I think that is fake news, people. Not that teams think that, I bet they do, but he's not. All Zach is doing is creating leverage for himself to get max money because the Bulls, according to reports, did not want to offer him a max contract. 5 years, $210 million. But now that Zach is shopping himself around, they're like, oh, never mind, here's the max. So it worked. I think he will get that 5-year deal, return to Chicago, but there is a trade that the Bulls could make that we'll get to in a second. Number 5, COLLIN Sexton as a free agent signing. A 5 out of 10. Sexton is a restricted free agent. He wants $19 to $22 million a year. The Cavs want to give him $15 to $18 a year. If they can't agree to a number, he's going to re-sign. But other teams could use his scoring. The top suitors are the Lakers for some reason, the Pacers, Pistons, and Wizards. They can all use a point guard. And honestly, I don't think paying Sexton $20 million a year at 23 years old is outrageous. But the reason that this isn't likely to happen is that both Sexton and the team really do want to get a deal done. Number 4, a John Collins trade. 7 out of 10. I really think this happens. The Hawks are going to make a huge trade after they were so disappointing last year. And Collins hasn't loved his fit on this roster for years. I think the Blazers are the biggest threat to get him. They have been making smoke about getting Zach LaVine, Bradley Beal. Those aren't realistic, okay? John Collins actually is. All it would take is 1 first-round pick and some matching salary. The Blazers get John Collins, the Hawks get the 7th pick and Eric Bledsoe. The benefit for Atlanta is using the 7th pick to keep your salary low by getting a talented player on a rookie deal. They would take guard Dyson Daniels, the perfect fit next to Trae Young. 6'6" with great defense and playmaking. Atlanta's offense, way too predictable. Daniels takes some playmaking off of Trae's plate. Also, he's good off the ball as a cutter too. At number 3, a BAMBA free agent signing, also 7 out of 10. He is a restricted free agent and about to be useless in Orlando. Multiple reports say after they draft Jabari Smith or Chet Holmgren, BAMBA is gone. He's a 24-year-old rim-protecting 7-footer who shot 38% from 3. So many teams need that. The Mavericks, the Lakers, the Raptors, the T-Wolves. My prediction is he lands in Toronto because there's going to be too much competition for Rudy Gobert. Number 2, DeAndre Ayton in a sign-and trade. 8 out of 10. And I am just recently getting more confident about this. I mean, The Athletic straight up reported DeAndre Ayton will likely move this summer. Rumors are he and Coach Monty Williams do not get along. You remember this motivational speech from the finals last year?
Doesn't have to be stats all the time. Go dominate the game with force, okay? Because you set a high level for yourself. Go dominate the game with force. Let's go.
Well, apparently that wasn't motivation. It was frustration that Ayton wasn't being aggressive. Then this year, reports say that he quit on the team. He will change teams, but what will it take? Well, a franchise can either pay him the max, like the Pistons or the Spurs, or they could sign and trade. And the teams interested are the Blazers and the Raptors, at least. Dame liked an IG post about playing with Ayton. That move looks like this. The Suns get Eric Bledsoe and the 7th pick, and the Blazers get Ayton. Phoenix thinks they could win with a replacement center like JaVale McGee or Bismack Biyombo, but they can't get nothing for DeAndre Ayton. So the 7th pick is an awesome return. And Portland ain't giving up any more than that, okay? They're already paying him a max. But number 1, a Rudy Gobert trade. 9 out of 10. There is almost no way he is on the Jazz next year. Reports say Utah is not listening for Donovan Mitchell trades, only Gobert. His suitors are the Mavericks, the Raptors, the Bulls, and the Hawks. He makes about $40+ million a year the next 4 seasons. So if this trade backfires, the team that gets him is just screwed. Gobert has 2 issues, okay? Offense and perimeter defense. His next team must have great wing defenders and a scoring alpha on the team because he can't depend on Gobert. That's why I think the best fits are the Bulls and the Mavericks. The Mavs starting 5, Luka, Tim Hardaway Jr., Reggie Bullock, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Rudy Gobert. That is a great team. Scoring, perimeter defense, and Gobert. No Jalen Brunson, by the way. I think he would be involved in a sign-and-trade. The Bulls starting 5, Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Derrick Jones Jr., and Rudy Gobert with Caruso off the bench. The Bulls get Rudy Gobert, the Jazz get Nikola Vucevic and Patrick Williams. Huge for Chicago, by the way, to not give up any draft picks. And I think this does put them in the East Finals. Guys, I want to give a shout out to a lot of the reporters who got all of this info. Jake Fisher from Bleacher Report I leaned on, Mark Stein from Substack, Kevin O'Connor as well from The Ringer. These guys have to create these sources within teams and front offices, and then they have to get the info out so that they can get all of it to us, and we love following the offseason, so go support all of those guys wherever you can. And even other awesome reporting talked about how Kyrie Irving is unlikely to re-sign long-term with the Nets. And to me, that means KD is as good as gone. I lay out the entire case for it right here.